and I am part of the CNY Fertility team. Happy Wednesday. I'm here to share with you a little information, tidbits, hopefully information that will benefit you to improve your fertility outcomes, to improve your overall health, and to get yourself freed up from that which is no longer serving you or is feeling like a burden in your life. So today I want to talk briefly about endometriosis and urinary tract infections. What do they have in common? As those of you that know me already know, I like to try to get into root cause. What is behind the diagnosis? What is causing your symptoms? Those of you that have met me in the clinic know that I always ask that. What do you think has caused your chronic UTIs? What has caused your stage 3 endometriosis? Very few people actually come up with an answer. So I'm going to challenge you to start thinking about it. I know we use this term idiopathic. We've heard this a lot, which means unknown origin, unknown causation. But those of us that work in the field of common sense healthcare know that there's always something that we could at least consider as a cause to your symptoms, especially when things are chronic. Then we have to look at, first of all, the psycho-emotional realm. This is psychobiology, psycho-emotional biology. We can no longer separate out our feelings and our thoughts from what is manifesting in our body. Having been a practitioner now for a couple decades, it is an honor to serve. It is continuing to be an honor to serve you all. It is why I am here on the planet at this point, is to work with humans and try to alleviate suffering and improve health. I am convinced now 1,000% that everything begins and ends in the emotional realm, right? We have a feeling, we ignore it, we repress it, we deny it for whatever reason. We all do this. I do this. And then what happens is it festers, and that may start in your early childhood. As we know, 0 to 7 years old is the most important part of our developmental phase, because that's programming our subconscious, which is most of how then our DNA is responding, our cells are functioning. It's based on our subconscious mind, right? So what happens is we ignore, and then we get the wake-up calls called symptoms, right? These are symptoms. This is the universe trying to nudge us to pay attention to what is going on, to connect with our bodies, to connect with some solutions that's going to help us, because it's much easier to prevent disease, dis-ease in the body than it is to treat it later on. So I only have a couple minutes and then I'm off to the clinic today. But I want to talk a little bit about, and a lot of you already probably know this, causation, endometriosis, 100% location of the uterus. The same with chronic UTIs. We can make some educated assumptions based on these symptoms. Now that we know that the uterus is designed to move, right? She's going to move from the size of a pear to a watermelon, right? So that's why she is held in place by ligaments. These ligaments get stretched out, especially if you've already given birth, then they have been stretched out already. And so it's much easier if you've already had one child or more for her to then really get out of proper alignment. So it's all about location of the universe. Universe, that's funny. I meant uterus. The uterus is your universe. So anyhow, I love this model. This is your pelvis, right? Here it is. So if the one thing I want you to get really familiar with today is called the pubis symphysis. Say that a couple times throughout the day. You are going to feel smarter, right? So this is the pubis symphysis. It's the middle of your pubic bone. So you want to go way down low, palpate your pubic bone, okay? And find the center there. There's a little indentation there, okay? So find that, because this is where we're going to start to work to create some space in your lower pelvis so that your uterus is not jammed onto your bladder. So let's just pretend for a moment. And I want you to think of your uterus. I was reading about it last night. Somebody referred to it as an ice cream cone. Oh, it's in a novel that I'm reading now, which is fascinating. Try to think of it like that. I like that because it's easy. Everybody's hopefully had an ice cream cone. We get the shape of it. And the bottom of the cone is your cervix. Okay. So I want you to think of your uterus in this way in your pelvis. Okay. And then here's your bladder underneath. So what happens is you fall on the ice, you wear high heels all the time, you fell off the horse when you were 5 years old. Bam! She is now in a misaligned location. Okay. So she can tilt forward, which is definitely going to press on the bladder, which is going to lead to urinary tract infections because of a lack of lymphatic and blood flow. Right. So when there's congestion, when there's stasis, then there's problems. Okay. So this is all about getting things moving better. Okay. So this is what happens. She gets jammed down. She can also go this way, right? Whoop. So that's really a problem. That's when you have cramps in your sacral area, cramps in your back. Okay. She can also go side to side. So this will lead to problems in your ovaries, ovarian function, ovarian cysts. I don't know about PCOS. That's another conversation. So look for an RVGO therapist. Find somebody that can help you put her back in a proper location. Okay. If you want more information about endometriosis and other ways to address it, you can visit my blog, which is on jenniferwaters.net. And we are going to continue on this conversation, I promise, at another time. But I am off to the clinic. Let me see if I can put this in the chat or something. I think I can. So I'm going to say goodbye to Facebook. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for your interest in health and healing.